Hey guys, so we are going to be doing an unboxing of this head unit for my 2009 335i E92 coupe. So let's get into it. Inside we got a box in a box. So what do we have here? We have some instruction manuals. Looks like a generic installation guide. It's probably not going to be all that helpful. What else? We have a greeting card. Thank you very much. And a Bluetooth pairing guide. Okay, and what next? So looks like we have two of these. These are going to be the 4G LTE antennas with SMA connectors. So we've got a microphone as well as a couple of clips. We're going to have to see what those are for. A USB extension, a second USB extension. This is something I purchased separately, so we can ignore that. And this looks to be the wiring harness. So it's got the CAN bus module and everything else. We'll open that up in a minute. Some more paperwork. Let's see, we've got a little, what's this? So a little explanation of what everything is, what hooks up to what. And then a basic instruction manual. Oh, and here's the GPS antenna, also with an SMA connector. And this looks to be the main unit. So the one I purchased has volume controls built in. So it's an 8-inch screen instead of the 9-inch screen that you see on a lot of the others. But those only have touch buttons, and I preferred to have the physical volume knobs. So here we go. You can see that this screen is somewhat modular. It detaches from the front if you wanted to extend the screen out from the body of the head unit. On the back, we've got, I ordered the high-end unit, so this is the SIM card connector for 4G. Looks like we have a GPS antenna, the two 4G antennas, a radio, microphone, two USB ports. The top one is a USB on the go. And then we have, video in, which is going to be for the supplemental video input. Say if you had a front camera, SPDIF out, so digital audio out. Sub out, and then let's see, we have our right in and left in audio that goes along with that video input, and then the outputs for front left, front right, rear left, rear right audio. There's the mask connector. Oh, let's see, infrared, key, I'm not sure what those do. Looks like CAN bus is just, oops, sorry there. Looks like CAN bus is just a loop through. And then these are going to be, looks like a pair of antennas. I imagine Bluetooth and Wi-Fi would be my guess. Take a look at everything that was included in the package other than the head unit itself. A couple of mounting tabs, and I'm not entirely sure what these are for or where these go. We'll have to see if they're actually used. And then we have a bag of hardware with a couple of tabs here. Those get mounted onto this HVAC mounting bracket. Have the antenna adapter for the BMW, so that hooks into your factory antenna connector, and this hooks into the one on the head unit. GPS antenna with an SMA connector. It's nice to see SMA connectors on here instead of some cheaper ones. These are pretty good and pretty robust. Got a long microphone extension here. So we have the 3.5 millimeter mono jack. Get some focus here. And we have the microphone itself with a fairly beefy pop guard on it. The mounting bracket for the HVAC hardware, and then the two trim pieces for the HVAC controls. This one is used if you have the manual HVAC controls, and this is used if you have climate control. There are two USB extensions, so you can get the USB cables somewhere that are actually useful for you. Have two 4G antennas. One's going to be the primary, one's going to be the diversity, and both of which also have SMA connectors on them. And then the thing that makes these head units very nice is the factory interface harness. So this is going to be the CAN bus decoder box. It's going to let the vehicle communicate directly with the head unit. This harness is what connects the head unit right into the factory harness. And we've got, what else here? So it looks like we have an amplifier connector and an antenna connector. And so this one is going to be what provides power to the antenna amplifier, so that we have decent reception. These are both fused, which is nice to see. This is the reverse camera input. So this little guy right here is what they call filter and fuse box. And inside, we're going to find a fuse, and we're going to find a fuse and basically some power filtering to help keep electrical noise out of the system. That's nice to see. And here is what connects into the head unit itself. You'll notice that the power cord is very long, and this is so you can hook this up in one of two ways. The first way is that you hook it up exactly as is, and the head unit is powered from the car right here. Downside to this is that the car likes to turn off the power to the head unit after a certain period of time, and I'm not sure what that is, which causes the head unit to need to do a full reboot. And that can be very slow. You lose your super fast reboot or power on time. So they give you this long extension here, and this long extension is intended so that you can cut it and then connect it up to run it all the way back to the battery, so you have constant 12-volt power. And then every time that you turn on the ignition, the unit turns on within the 2 seconds that they advertise. Give this thing an initial power on here. It's not been powered up yet. I've got it hooked up to a bench power supply just so we can see how long it takes to do its initial boot up and check out the basic user interface. So I'll go and turn everything on here. See, it's drawing between 1 and 1.3 amps while it boots up. And obviously there's no car connected to this, so there's going to be no audio and no CAN bus interface. But it should give us a basic idea of what was fairly snappy from a completely powered off state. So here is the basic user interface. I'd say that's pretty responsive. The touch screen is very responsive. Let's take a look at the warm boot time. So if we were to simply turn off the ignition line and turn it back on, go and disconnect that and reconnect it in 3, 2, 1, now. That's pretty darn fast. And that, especially if you go ahead and use the battery connection method for power, you're going to have that boot time every time that you turn on the car. There's one major bug with any of these units, be it Joying, Eanon, any of the others, and that is that they have a really bad habit of overriding and erasing your contacts in your Google account or in your phone once you pair your phone via Bluetooth. And this will get pushed back to your Google account if you store all of your phone numbers in your Google account, but that you can recover those. And I'm not sure what happens if you have an iPhone, but before you pair your phone, once you've set up your Google account so you can get into Play Store and things, you should set it up so it does not sync contacts to your Google account. So you're going to go and you're going to go into Settings. See if I can make this stay focused. Under User, under Account. Now this is another little bug here, and that is that the text is not white for these, and because of the dark mode black screen, you can't easily read. But you go into your account, buried in here, right here, it says Account Sync. You're going to click on that, and the second item is Contacts. So you want to disable that. That is very important. There is a reasonable chance that you could lose all of your contacts in your phone once you pair your phone to the device. Here we have the basic user interface straight out of the box. Looks like everything is in metric units, which is to be expected since it came from China. We have it's like one screen by default. We've got navigation. This is going to be your terrestrial radio. Yep. Bluetooth, I believe this is going to be your phone. Yes, that is. Music is going to be the default music player. Bluetooth music is going to be your Bluetooth music interface. Video player settings. Looks like there's a basic operations guide built in here. File manager, I don't know why calculator is on the desktop. That seems, or on the home screen, that seems sort of pointless in the car. Otherwise, we have looks like Google Assistant, aux in, car info, and this is going to be, this is going to communicate via CAN bus and give you information from the vehicle. Steering wheel controls, equalizer, Chrome, gallery, Google search. Here's that iGoPal navigation, Google Maps. Let's see. Play Store is built in, that's nice to see. So you don't have to try and sideload that. Touch Assistant, I believe, is the control for this little menu here. Yep. Yep, so we can turn that on and off and leave that off. YouTube. And Z-Link, this here is their Apple CarPlay and Android Auto interface program. And then we've got these capacitive touch buttons, home, back, music, yep, navigation. It's going to take you to your navigation, phone, band is going to be the radio, mode, should cycle through various applications, and dim, looks to have some preset brightness settings. So there's what you get straight out of the box.